You know what's worse than making a grammar mistake? It's that moment when you realize even though you said everything correctly, you still didn't sound natural. You sounded rehearsed, textbook, like you learned English from a manual instead of from life.
Exactly. And here's the thing most teachers won't tell you. Fluency isn't about knowing more words. It's about using the right words in the right way. Today, we're breaking down the 3 most common signs that immediately mark you as a beginner. And more importantly, we're showing you exactly how to fix them.
I'm Alex,
I'm Linda.
and this is English the Natural Way.
Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a conversation where you knew what you wanted to say? The grammar was perfect in your head, but the second you opened your mouth, something was off.
Yeah, and you can see it in people's faces. They smile politely, they nod, but deep down you know you don't sound like an adult having a conversation. You sound like a student reciting from a textbook.
And that's frustrating because you've studied for years. You know your verb tenses, you've memorized vocabulary lists, but somehow native speakers still hear you and think, they're still learning.
The truth is, there's a gap between academic English and natural English. And that gap, it's filled with small, specific patterns that native speakers use instinctively, but that most courses never teach.
So today, we're giving you 3 concrete signs that you're stuck in beginner mode, and we're going to show you the precise adjustments that will elevate your English to sound advanced, professional, and most importantly, natural.
If you're ready to stop sounding like a learner and start sounding like a speaker, stay with us. Let's dive in.
All right, sign number 1, the robot response. This is when your answers are technically correct, but completely unnatural.
Classic example. Someone asks, "How are you?" And you say,
I am fine, thank you. And you?
"Stop, right there." That is the most beginner sentence in the English language.
Now, is it wrong? No, grammatically it's perfect, but no native speaker talks like that in casual conversation. It sounds like you're reading from a phrase book.
So, what's the natural way? First, contractions. Native speakers contract everything in informal settings. We don't say I am, we say I'm. We don't say I do not, we say I don't.
Second, variety. Don't always say fine. Mix it up. Try, I'm doing great, thanks. Not too bad, how about you? Pretty good, actually. Can't complain.
And here's a pro tip. Throw in a filler word or softener to make it even more natural. For example, I'm doing pretty well, thanks. I'm all right, I guess. Honestly, I'm a bit tired today.
Those tiny additions, pretty, honestly, actually, are what make you sound like you've been speaking English your whole life.
Let's do a quick comparison. Linda, imagine I ask, "How are you?"
Beginner mode. I am fine, thank you.
Versus,
Natural mode. I'm doing well, thanks. How about you?
hear the difference? The second one flows. It feels like a conversation, not a translation.
And it's not just how are you? This applies to every robotic response. For example, beginner, yes, I would like some water. Natural, yeah, I'd love some water, thanks.
Or, I do not understand. Natural, sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Notice the pattern, contractions, variety, and natural phrasing. That's the formula.
Bottom line, if your sentences sound like they came from a grammar textbook, you need to loosen up. Real English is flexible, conversational, and human.
Sign number 2, overusing very and other weak intensifiers. This is a classic beginner mistake.
If you find yourself saying very good, very bad, very tired, very big all the time, you're limiting yourself to beginner-level vocabulary.
Here's why. Very is a crutch. It's what you use when you don't know a more specific word. And native speakers, we don't rely on very nearly as much as learners think we do.
Instead, we use what we call impact words, single words that carry the weight of very plus adjective. Let's break this down.
Instead of very good, say excellent, outstanding, fantastic, superb.
Instead of very bad, say terrible, awful, dreadful, horrendous.
Instead of very tired, say exhausted, drained, wiped out.
Instead of very big, say huge, massive, enormous, gigantic.
See how much stronger those words are? When you say, I'm exhausted, it's not just more accurate, it's more professional. It shows you have a rich vocabulary.
And it's not just very. Beginners also overuse words like really, so, and a lot. Instead of really happy, try thrilled or delighted. Instead of so hungry, try starving. Instead of a lot of rain, try heavy rain or pouring.
Here's a challenge for you right now. Think of one phrase you use with very. Pause this video and see if you can replace it with a single, stronger word. Write it down. We'll wait.
Seriously, do it. This is how you build better habits.
All right, moving on. Let's talk about why this matters. When you use weak intensifiers, your speech feels flat, monotone. But when you use precise, powerful words, your English becomes dynamic and engaging.
And here's the bonus. Advanced speakers also use descriptive phrases instead of just adjectives. For example, instead of very cold, you might say, it's freezing out there. Instead of very scary, try, it was absolutely terrifying.
Or even better, use comparisons and imagery. It was colder than I expected. The movie was so scary, I couldn't sleep.
This is what separates intermediate speakers from advanced speakers. It's not about knowing more grammar. It's about choosing words that paint a picture.
So here's your action step. For the next week, every time you want to say very, stop yourself. Ask, is there a better word? Build that muscle.
All right, final sign. Short, choppy sentences. This is how children speak.
Listen to this. I went home. I ate dinner. I watched TV. I went to bed.
Grammatically correct, but it sounds robotic, disconnected, like you're listing actions instead of telling a story.
Native speakers don't talk like that. We connect our thoughts using bridge words and transition phrases. These are the glue that hold natural conversation together.
Let's take that same example and make it natural. So I went home and then I had dinner. After that, I just watched some TV before heading to bed.
Hear the difference? So, and then, after that, before, those little connectors make your speech flow.
Here are some essential bridge words every advanced speaker uses. Actually, I was planning to go out, but actually, I stayed home. Basically, the meeting was a waste of time. To be honest, I wasn't that impressed. Anyway, let's move on to the next topic.
By the way, did you hear about Sarah? I mean, it's not the worst idea. It's just, not really my thing.
These phrases do two things. First, they make your speech sound more conversational. Second, they give you a moment to think, which makes you sound more fluent, not less.
Another key technique, combining sentences with conjunctions. Instead of, I like coffee, I don't like tea.
I like coffee, but I'm not really a fan of tea.
Or use subordinating conjunctions like although, because, while, since. Although I like coffee, I've been trying to cut back. I stayed home because I wasn't feeling great.
And here's a pro move. Start sentences with these connectors to sound even more natural. Because I was tired, I decided to skip the gym. Although it was raining, we still went for a walk.
And don't forget relative clauses, using who, which, that to add detail. I have a friend who lives in Tokyo. This is the book that I was telling you about.
The key is, don't just state facts, weave them together, create a narrative. That's what advanced speakers do.
Let's do one more comparison. Alex, tell me about your weekend beginner style.
I woke up, I had breakfast, I went to the gym, I came home, I relaxed.
Now, natural style.
So I woke up pretty late on Saturday, had a quick breakfast, and then hit the gym for about an hour. After that, I just came home and spent the rest of the day relaxing. It was nice.
Perfect. That's the difference. It's not just what you say, it's how you connect it.
All right, let's bring it all together. We've covered 3 major signs that you're stuck in beginner mode.
Sign number 1, the robot response. Stop using formal textbook phrases. Use contractions, variety, and natural filler words.
Sign number 2, weak intensifiers. Stop saying very everything. Use strong, specific impact words that show you have a rich vocabulary.
Sign number 3, choppy sentences. Stop listing actions like a to-do list. Use bridge words and connectors to make your speech flow.
Here's the thing. None of this is about learning more grammar rules. It's about unlearning the textbook patterns and replacing them with real, natural speech.
So here's your homework. Pick one of these 3 areas and focus on it this week. Just one. If you tend to sound robotic, practice using contractions and varied responses. If you overuse very, start building your vocabulary of impact words.
If your sentences are choppy, practice connecting them with bridge words. And here's the key. Don't just study this passively. Practice it out loud. Record yourself. Listen back. That's how you improve.
If this video helped you, we need you to do 2 things.
First, hit that like button right now. It tells us you want more videos like this. Practical, specific, and focused on real improvement.
Second, drop a comment below. Tell us, which of these 3 signs do you struggle with most? Or better yet, what's one word or phrase you know you overuse? We'll jump in and help you find a better, more natural alternative.
Remember, the difference between sounding like a beginner and sounding like an advanced speaker isn't massive. It's small, specific shifts like the ones we covered today.
You don't need to study harder. You need to study smarter. And that's exactly what we do here on English the Natural Way.
And we'll see you in the next lesson.